From the Irish Hills of Michigan, it's time for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League to race at the big 2-mile super speedway, Michigan International Speedway. Welcome to eNASCAR Heat Pro League, round number 7 here at the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte. I'm Chris Wilner, Hannah Newhouse. We are 2 races away, folks, from the playoffs, and boy, the tension is building.
And we saw that tension start. I don't want to say it started at Indy, but it definitely shone through at Indy 2 weeks ago. Side-by-side racing, crazy finishes, lots of built-up tension I think that's going to follow over tonight into Michigan.
It certainly will. And if you missed it, we've got a recap for you, starting with the Xbox drivers that put on one whale of a show. Get ready to go take the green flag for the Xbox drivers. It's time to go racing at the racing capital of the world.
Green, green, green. Go.
Jacob Kerr jumps out to the lead there. Track bar already ready to challenge him. We have a new leader, SHG Slick. Managed to get by track bar there, acquires the lead. No one wasted any time going 3 wide into this corner here as we are back green. The Bolt with the lead over Go Fast Matt.
Look out, another car gets outside. Heavy contact. Track bar.
All right, cool.
Caution is out.
Heavy damage on that Penske machine.
And we got one car, that's HD.
I'm running off over for now on. That's all I'm saying.
All right, guys, 7 to go. Let's try and keep it clean to the end.
We've got more contact. This time, J Mac attack gets into the outside of Slick.
3 to go, guys. 3 laps to go.
Don't look now. Another accident. Oh, my goodness.
HD, I know you're mad, brother, but don't take it out on me in track bar, man.
I don't even hit you. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, HD, that really wasn't necessary.
This is it. Next flag will be the checkered flag. There will be no more cautions.
All eyes on the restart. Here comes Go Fast Matt. Does Garbage have enough of a run? He's got a run, but he gets blocked. Oh, Garbage down low. That's not going to be enough as Go Fast Matt will take the checkered flag at Indianapolis.
And with that win for Go Fast Matt, helped Go Fast Racing get that overall event win. So the checkered flag goes to Go Fast Matt. Wow, that's Garbage from the back to second.
Absolutely, he almost did it again. And then Mr. Consistent, Mr. Track Bar falling outside the top 5. And Moordog, one of those teams, Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, getting a top 10.
J Mac comes home 12th, Casey 13th, and rounding out the field is Skirt Bush.
Yeah, and absolutely your winner, Go Fast Matt, took the opportunity to share us what helped him get to victory at the Brickyard.
What's up, everybody? I'm Go Fast Matt 32, winner of the Indy race on the Xbox side, and today I'm going to show you the setup that I used for that race. So here it is. This is the full setup. A nice tidbit that I like to use is everything in this setup is great and enter it exactly as you see it here. One of the things that I like to do is the wedge. All the other stuff cannot be customized in race, but the wedge can. What I like to do is I like to run the race for a bit, and then I will adjust the wedge as I like it. So for the Indy race, for most beginners or intermediate players, I would have the wedge set to 50%. Fun fact about Indy Motor Speedway, if your car feels comfortable, it means you're not going fast enough. So the looser the car, the faster it's going to be. So what I would recommend for a beginner or immediate player is start at 50 and then make your way down 1 click at a time until you find a good balance between the setup. Me personally, I like to run it around a 49. I like a stable car where somebody like Fast Fed 32 might run it about a 48 or a 47. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching and enjoy the stream.
There you guys go. Take notes there. And one of the cool things about the eNASCAR Heat Pro League is right there, that was everything that you need to have such a strong run like Go Fast Matt did at Indy.
Remember, keep your race car a little bit loose. You'll go fast at Indy. Well, you know, we saw a lot of carnage in that race and a lot of hot tempers. We're going to bring in Zane, the bearded one, in our digital media lounge. Zane, I mean, incredible race, but there has to be some hot tempers still carrying over here to Michigan.
You're absolutely right. And I got to say, the digital lounge is a pop in here. There's a whole group of people hanging out watching this race because it is Michigan. Indy, we saw Go Fast Matt finally hit the edifice of his career. He was a bridesmaid the race before. Now he got in the victory lane. He's showing Go Fast what he's there to do, saying, hey, Fed's not the best one on this team. I can get some wins here. Indy was a single groove. We're at Michigan. We're going to see 2, 3 wide, maybe 4 wide. We saw it in the exhibition preseason races with these guys. It's going to get really wild, I think, tonight.
No doubt about that. It never seems to not be wild anymore as these races wind down. But hey, thanks, Zane. We'll check in with you here in a little bit.
Not a problem. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.
And a driver hoping to get RCR above the playoff cut line with just 2 races to go is that man, J-Mac Attack, and he starts 9th in your Xbox event tonight. He joins us here on the pre-race show. J-Mac, first of all, we got to ask, pressure, do you feel it going into these last 2 races?
Oh, absolutely. Feel pressure every race because you want to perform and you want to do well, and so far these races have been kind of tough. So definitely feel pressure, but I've gotten a lot more confidence to go with that over these last few weeks because I've definitely run a lot faster. So it's there's definitely pressure because you want to get into those playoffs.
You're rolling off 9th tonight at Michigan. Do you have any specific or special strategy into play to help assure you get to the front and stay to the front?
First off, stay out of trouble because these guys are getting a little more aggressive. These last couple of practices, these last couple of nights have been pretty wild. So first and foremost, want to keep out of trouble, and then car's really fast, but there's a couple of tricks I think I can pull too situationally. So don't really want to give those away yet, but I think this is going to be a good night for us. We've got speed and we've got some other things we can do.
Both you and Sloppy seem to really work well together. What have you talked about as far as how to approach tonight? Because you can certainly throw a championship run away here tonight, but you can also set yourself up for success next week.
We definitely want to be the aggressors and not the victims tonight. That's one thing we've talked about is we're not going to be pushed around. We're gonna be probably a little more aggressive than usual, and we're going to try to just try to work our way up to the front and stay there and have ourselves a good finish. And other than that, we just talked about normal setup stuff. But yeah, that's the main thing is that we're making it a note to be aggressive tonight.
Well, pull those belts tight when you get back in, and we'll see that number 3 get toward the front.
Yes, sir. Hope so. The American Ethanol Chevy's pretty nice.
G-Mac mentioned it there. The aggression is just going to ramp up even more as desperation sets in for some of these teams that need to lock in between Michigan and Daytona in 2 weeks.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, that's got to be on the back of your mind every time you hit the racetrack, especially these last couple of weeks. And I know whether you start in the front or the back, it's basically, like he said, keeping your nose clean and being there at the finish. To finish first, you must first finish, and that old saying will apply here this week.
You got to have that consistency between both teams here. But before we go racing tonight at Michigan, let's take a look back at the PlayStation race from Indy.
We got action here at the Brickyard. 2.5 miles around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Green flag is out as they cross the yard of bricks, and we're racing for PS4.
Looks like we've got SHG jumping out to a lead here with Fast Fed single file so far.
The battle for the lead. Fed took a peek a little bit. I don't know if he's just trying to size up the competition.
Ooh, and he's going to hold on to, he's going to challenge here, and he will take that front running position away.
New leader, the 32 for Go Fast Racing. Nobody's given an inch right now as it's 17 laps to go, and they're still side by side down the back straightaway into turn number 3.
He made that work. That was almost a hey, and we're going to be clear, but it's clear by contact as a hot rod slides down in front of Fast Fed.
Oh, we've got an accident. One upside down. It is the 7 of Kepper taking a wild ride. And the caution is out with 3 laps to go.
Right now, we got a green-white checker. It's going to be a one shot to do this. And if you win, you win. It's checkers or wreckers, baby.
We are green back under racing seat. Woo, Kyle Arnold acquired the lead there. SHG Hot Rod says, nope, I have been fast all night. You are not taking this from me.
Fast Fed, gonna try it, but no. It's gonna be SHG Hot Rod at the stripe. What a run for Hot Rod, the local boy. Gets it done at Indianapolis, and he'll be kissing the bricks. Close finish there for our PS4 drivers as Stewart Haas Gaming gets the race win with Fast Fed coming home 2nd, and Nick Jobs, Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, a solid top 3.
Mr. Consistent coming home 4th. Slade, the young gun there. Voltage coming home 6th. And you look at Sloppy Joe there for RCR. They're looking for that consistency, comes home 9th.
Certainly are. Rounding out the field, Mike RPM, The Bear, and Rowdy, who's been pretty quiet here as of late.
Well, a great run for SHG. They're always fast, but we got a chance to catch up with them and see what led them to that win at the Brickyard.
Oh, what's going on, Stewart Haas Gaming fans? It's The Voice here. As you know, a couple weeks back, Hot Rod won the PlayStation race at Indianapolis, and he was nice enough to share his setup notebook with us. So come on over, we'll check it out. Let's see what kind of secrets he has in here. Oh. Very secret stuff. Maybe next time.
I guess you can call that a secret.
Go
Maybe.
fast, turn left. I used to have in my race car a piece of duct tape that said, knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. You know that song?
That sounds familiar, yes.
See, it's speed secrets. That's all it is. Go fast and turn left. Awesome to see that there. But let's go ahead and bring Zane in here for a second. We just watched that PlayStation recap from Indy. Just as crazy as the Xbox race.
Yes, but I got to know, is that song Beyonce? Like, I've never heard that song before.
I think it's You Can't Roller Skate
in a buffalo
herd, right? Knuckle
Correct.
down, buckle down, do it, do it,
Don't know
do
what
it.
you're talking about. I'm gonna pretend I do. Yeah!
Perfect.
But no, that strategy almost seems a little bit of a play on words. As we saw in Indy on the PlayStation side, it was go fast, fed, and SHG Hot Rod, nose to tail, bumper to bumper, one blocking, one pushing, one pulling, one blocking the entire race. Maybe that's what it was. Go fast, turn left. He's got an unofficial teammate in this race. We saw manufacturer team up with Fords. This week, it's a totally different bag. It's 12 versus 2. Those guys were not happy after Indy, and we're about to see that happen in Michigan with the PlayStation guys.
Yeah, a few drivers said it's kind of all or nothing, so we'll be interesting to see what happens there. Zane, we appreciate it. We'll check back in with you here in a minute.
Anytime, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
And per usual, he is Mr. Consistent, and that's why he got himself the #1 overall pick in the PlayStation. But he's one of the young guns, and he's proved he belongs here. We've got Slade dialed up here. Slade, you have yet to finish outside of the top 4 since Bristol. That's consistency over a lot of tracks. How do you keep up that success?
I really don't know. I mean, just keeping the car clean and making sure you're in good spots. I didn't think going into the season that I'd, my thoughts were on be, 4th place, 5th place guy, get a couple top 5s, top 3s, maybe a win. Never like this. We've just been so consistent. And qualifying up front, has been a big thing to help that. This will be our first race, not qualifying inside the top 5. So be a different kind of expectation, maybe you could say. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, just keeping the car clean and making sure you're out of the mess whenever it happens.
And while you work your way to the front here tonight, you got to keep in the back of your mind those playoff position points because we're getting oh so close to that cutoff. What's going through your mind and your teammates' mind as you prepare for tonight?
We're both starting in the back, so it's we're just trying to keep the car clean and work our way to the front the best we can. We don't have an event win, sadly. I think we're 9th, 5 points ahead of the 10th place Jermaine. So we're just trying to have a decent finish here. That's our goal, just to have decent points weeks for the rest of this regular season and make sure we make the playoffs. That's our big thing right now, make the playoffs. Don't know if we'll get that event win, but just making sure we have good points week in, week out. And with Daytona kind of being a wild card, this race is big. So we got to make sure we have a good race here and represent the Spin Mustangs well.
Awesome. Well, rolling off 11th tonight at Michigan. Good luck, Slade.
Thank you.
Such a polished young man. You'll never realize he's just 17 years old. Here's a look at how they will roll off here at Michigan in PS4 with Hot Rod again starting right where he finished at the front.
A strong run for Penske, rolling off up in the top 5 there. The Bear rolling off 6th, looking to rebound after last weekend's Indy performance, and Jerem Keffer coming home, or starting off 9th.
Absolutely, a nice top 10 starting spot for Parker. Slade, as he mentions, coming from the back, and then Sloppy Joe. Be interesting to see what he can do from 13th.
Jerem Keffer, that driver for Junior Motorsports, one of the consistent ones and looking for a win still this season. Let's take a look at that driver.
My name is Jason Keffer. My gamer tag is JRM_Keffer7, and I drive for Junior Motorsports. I just love NASCAR. I've been a fan since I was a little kid.
I'm from West Virginia originally. This is my daughter, Nadia. See her trying to do some camera work here. She wanted to get on camera. So joined the Air Force when I was 17, spent 9 years in the Air Force. Got a little coin collection here from the military days. Nadia plays basketball, so you've probably seen a lot of posts on Twitter. She really enjoyed that. There's Hershey. He's the one that if you've raced with me online, you probably hear me yelling at him in the background. I'm racing on a 60-inch TV. This is actually in my living room. So right here, I got my kitchen, my dogs, living room, Then I'm actually racing on a T150 wheel. It's got the force feedback. I use it. You know, when I get hit on the track, someone's like, I didn't touch you. I'm like, man, I can feel it. Got the gas, brake, the clutch, the whole shebang. Nadia is gonna drive the side-by-side, but this is scary. So, let me get my seatbelt on. All right, let's go. There we go. This thing turns, it's really, it doesn't turn very tight, so you're gonna have to really have room to turn. Let's go. Keep on. Let's go. That's 2 miles an hour. Let's go 5. Oh, God. You don't have to jam the brake. I don't have anybody really that's, I don't think, upset with me. And I'm usually not upset with people, but myself and Slade, since he seems to be the youngest person in the league and I'm the oldest, call that a age rivalry.
Well, I certainly thought the side-by-side was cool and to see his family and everything, but I know your biggest takeaway was probably that cute little puppy.
Yes, I think that we need to arrange to have him, being in the Charlotte area, come here and play, but only so Hershey can come make a visit here. He could be our in-studio guest here, so pretty cool to see there. But let's take a look at the standings here before we get ready to go racing here at Indy. Roush Fenway Gaming still up on top here with those 2 event wins.
Yeah, everybody racking up event wins, as you can see, with Penske and Levine, as well as JTG, all having event wins. Go Fast as well. Junior Motorsports up in there without event win.
And then there's that cutoff line. Germain Gaming right on that 10th position, just in the good, and Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club looking to jump in.
11 points back, Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, and everybody is still mathematically in contention, so it's anyone's game as we sit with 2 races to go.
And with only these 2 races left, we've talked about it. We've got a new overall points leader, and that being Roush Fenway Gaming. And one of those drivers who's been nothing but awesome for them, Fluffy, joins us right now on the pre-race. Fluffy, we're winding down here, and you've actually got a win here at Michigan in the pre-exhibition season here. 3 wide finish. Does that boost your confidence going into tonight's race?
It does, honestly. Michigan, when we raced here in the exhibition race, it was crazy. It was just insane, honestly. So, you know, it does boost my confidence a little bit for tonight. And hopefully we get it. Hopefully we can get it back.
Hey, and then we want to talk about, you know, the exhibition obviously was a great race for you. You were pretty dominant in all those 10 races, but you're still searching for that win. 2 races to go to try to, you know, solidify your point standings here atop in the point standings. So what do you have to do to get, you know, your car up front?
Just stay consistent. Just basically stay consistent, stay out of trouble. And, you know, that's just the key to being up front, is just kind of staying consistent and being able to just accrue as much as you can through each run. And, you know, hopefully all of that will hopefully get us the win here tonight. You know, I'm still looking for a win tonight. Hopefully we can get it done tonight for Roush Fenway.
And you're sitting in a pretty good position on that outside front row for tonight's race. Hey, good luck tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Hannah, Fluffy's been kind of my surprise. I thought after getting those multiple wins in the preseason that he was just going to come out right where he left off, and we're still waiting for him to get into victory lane. So maybe tonight's tonight, because that photo finish is something I know people will still talk about to this day.
It could be the night tonight, but you know that team has to have a sigh of relief. They've got those 2 event wins. They're sitting really good in the points right now. So for a wild card race like Michigan, followed by Daytona, they almost have to go into these events with some ease. And let's bring Zane back in here to talk about that. The bubble, we've got 2 races left, and while Roush Fenway Gaming may be going into this a little bit more relaxed, some of those other teams are a little worried.
You're absolutely right. You're talking about Hendrick and RCR Esports. Sorry, I apologize about that. Those guys are right on the bubble, right on the cusp. And even Germain Rice sitting in 10th. They're only 11 points above those 2 teams that are in that cutoff zone. It could be a Germain dropout. Hendrick, RCR moves up. The big thing that we have to see is we need Hendrick or RCR to come out and win. They need to lock in a victory. If they don't, they're out. Then you have to ride into Daytona with the nerves, the pressure of the big one. Am I going to get wrecked? Am I going to finish in first? Can my team get a win? You don't want to be knocking on that door. You want to be solidified up front. And another point that you made, Hannah, Roush can't sit back and rest on their laurels. The points don't reset. Everyone's going into the playoffs with the points they brought, and it's a whole new game. So they need to get as many points as they can, still rolling into that playoff picture.
A lot of important things to keep focused on these last two races. Zane, we appreciate it. We'll check back in with you in a minute. But you talked about those bubble teams, and we'll take a look at those ones still in contention, which is everyone, starting with Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, RCR, Petty. And those probably last two, Petty and Chip Ganassi Gaming, are the two that it's kind of win and you're in. If not, I don't think they could quite close the gap.
I would agree with you there. Wood Brothers Gaming is sitting good in that 9th position. They're on and above that bubble line there, but like you said, mathematically, anyone can do it if they get that event win tonight.
And that team that's right there on the outside looking in is Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, and one of their drivers is hoping to get them over the hump here this week at Michigan. It's Mordog, and he joins us now. First of all, we've talked to drivers all night about pressure. How are you guys approaching tonight to get yourselves in that playoff contention?
We chose to use some aggressive gears tonight. We have gears that'll run really good on fuel, and for the last couple stages of the race, I think it'll be to our advantage.
And this whole season is about teamwork. What's the conversation been like between you and your teammate going into essentially the last two races before we go playoff racing?
We actually just got off the phone with each other. But, you know, it's been pretty intense. We've kind of locked down a lot more communication, definitely talking to the crew chiefs a lot and a lot of stuff like that. But I think we're ready for tonight. We're pretty pumped up for the next couple races for the playoffs.
Starting towards the back, I know you're not going to stay there for long. What's your strategy as far as tonight to keep yourself clean? Because we've seen these races get oh so intense so quickly. What's your game plan tonight?
I start 13th. It's I had a little bit of issue in qualifying where I didn't even get to put a lap down, but it's no big deal. I'll stick in the good gear and I'll get to the front pretty quickly and start messing around until the first competition caution. Then for the last couple stages of the race, just keep it calm and cool, and we should be there at the lead at the end.
Well, I like the confidence, and who knows, lucky 13 could be your number tonight, and we'll hopefully see you in victory lane. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And Michigan is a place that you can make up that ground starting in 13th. But let's take a look at the starting order for this Xbox race. Mr. Track Bar and SHG Slick on that front row, and Go Fast Matt, last week's winner, rolling off 5th.
HD Motorsports will try to rebound as well with a top 5 starting position, and then there's Shell V in 7th, your winner in round number 1.
J Mac Attack in 9th, and Diego coming in 10th. And you look here, Mordog rounding out that 13th, and wow, that's garbage. We've seen him do it before, but he's starting at the back.
He certainly has, but a driver for Petty Esports is going to try to get the victory tonight. It's Diego out of California. He showed us his digs going into tonight and how he does a little bit of everything.
I'm Diego Alvarado, aka Diego Didi on Xbox. I drive for Petty Esports in the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. Probably the biggest thing that drew me to the NASCAR Heat series was that it was a pick up and play. A lot of my buddies only had consoles as opposed to the other esports, so it was easy for us to just go out, buy a copy of NASCAR Heat 3 and start competing. Besides competing in the eNASCAR Heat Pro League and editing YouTube videos and live streaming on Twitch, I've been doing a lot of photography, videography work. I've been following various teams and drivers in the NASCAR King Pro Series West and East. Been doing a little bit of ARCA, a little bit of trucks, and as a recent just got my first gig in the Cup Series, which I thought was really cool. I also do a little bit of racing myself, been competing in go-karts and various LO206 classes and clubs all across California. Working on to some of my hobbies over here, I, growing up, collected a lot of NASCAR diecast. We got the 43 machine, Bubba Wallace showing him some love right there in the enshrinement. Working on over here to the headquarters, the HQ, where all the business gets done. People always say, hey, Diego, do you use a wheel? Do you use a controller when you're racing? I kind of go with a little bit of both. Really just varies at what track I'm at. Keeping the Xbox warm has been Miles the Monster. Cool little bobblehead. If I have a shot on the final lap to win one of these races, I'm gonna send that person and their grandmother into the fence, 110%, and you gotta do what you gotta do to get that W. I think I covered everything. That is a little bit about me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the profile.
Diego's one of the cool profiles for me to see there. Being a West Coaster, Diego's paths and I seem to cross frequently, not only now with the eNASCAR Heat Pro League, but he's been at a lot of the K&N races that I've covered, raced go-karts around each other, so that's super cool to see that involvement, and then to cross paths once again.
Yeah, and you heard him say it. He'll put you in the wall and your grandmother, which I don't know how my grandmother would be involved, but I don't know if she may pick up a controller. Who knows? But definitely interesting to see what he can do and all the things that he is involved with, so good luck to Diego, and it's about time to go racing, folks. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. But right now, we're going to look at the keys to the race and kind of your race rundown, because it's going to be a grueling one out there with 45 laps around this 2-mile racetrack. Pit window 9 to 12 laps.
And that pit window is interesting because that allows a pretty good gap here for drivers to cycle in through those pit stops at different times, setting up some strategy. Competition caution on lap 18. But let's bring Zane back in here to talk some more statistics and what to expect for tonight. Zane, there's a lot on the line with only 2 races left. We saw aggression in Indy. I would guess that we would see just as much, if not more, aggression tonight.
We're going to see 215, 220 miles an hour going into turn 1, 2-3 wide at the start-finish line, just probably like we saw during the exhibition preseason races. It's going to be a show. It's going to be insane. On top of that, there's a little bit extra for these drivers. Today is the first day that we're actually going to give a prize to the drivers on each Xbox and PlayStation. We're going to give them NASCAR racing experience passes, which means these guys are about to live their fantasies and become a reality by hitting up their favorite tracks that are eligible to race in a real stock car. I know I've wanted to do it. Hannah, you've done it, so you probably already know how it feels. These guys are going to be able to live that reality now. On top of that, our fans, the viewers in chat, they've been going crazy right now. They've been asking, hey, what's up with this giveaway? What's going on? The viewers in chat are going to have a chance to actually win their own pass to the NASCAR racing experience as well. During the broadcast, we're going to be giving it out, should I say. There will be a raffle. So when it starts, you'll see exclamation raffle. You type that in, you're automatically entered into that drawing. When that drawing happens, your name will be shouted out in the chat. We'll also try to get you out there on the air, give you a little elbow shine, get your cloud. In case you're going to Area 51, you kind of need that. So that's really what we're going to do. The problem is you can't leave. You got to be here. If we call your name and you don't show up and I can't shake your hands virtually, you don't get your prize, man. You got to stay the whole time and enjoy the show. But that's what we're doing tonight. We're giving out some passes, we're showing some adventures, and we're going to the playoffs. We got 2 races then. It's going to be some door slamming adventures.
Chris was over here.
I was just trying to.
I think he's trying to enter for this.
No, you can't. You can't. You can only do it on Twitch, and you're not allowed because you're part of the show, Chris. You got to be in the Twitch chat. You got to sign up. You got to follow the Twitch channel. You got to use the exclamation raffle when it goes live, because if you don't, you're going to miss out and be really upset with me. And I'd be like, man, did you do everything we said? But we're going to have some more notifications in game.
Well, you broke my heart, but that's all right. One lucky fan's going to join the
I still love you, buddy. You're still my favorite.
I love you too, buddy. We'll see you here as we go green flag racing, because it is time to drop the hammer here at Michigan International Speedway. And Xbox is getting ready to hit the track as we take a look at their starting lineup for tonight, with Track Bar on the pole, Mr. Consistency leading every statistical category coming into tonight.
And if you guys don't hear from Zane the rest of the race, it's probably because I went down there and was upset about not being the favorite. But It's okay. SHG, you said it there, rolling out second. HD Motorsports looking to rebound there in 4th. Take a look here at Shell V Power, looking for a strong run for Penske, rolling off 7th.
Shell V Power, your Week 1 winner, starting in 7th. Jacob Kerr, kind of been a sleeper, but Jermaine's on the bubble, so they've got to get a nice finish out of them, starting their mid-pack. And then towards the back, Skirt Bush, your overall #1 pick, starting 12th for Chip Ganassi Gaming. And rounding out the field, wow, that's Garbage, who we've said that, I think, Hannah, almost every week that he's starting shotgun on the field, and he made 2nd last week. Can he get it done today?
I almost look forward to it when he doesn't take a qualifying time, unfortunately, because he just puts on that much more of a show, bobbing and weaving his way to the front, and he always seems to end up in contention. So, unfortunate situation there for Moordog and Wow, That's Garbage, not taking those qualifying times and starting in the back. But we've got something pretty interesting tonight. We're going to take a look at our drivers getting ready for the race here. We've got in studio cameras here, we've got the Dan Man in the Dan Cave, right?
Yep.
For the Bolt getting ready. Workaholic, that needs to be Driveaholic on that interstate battery pack tonight.
Yeah, a little whip around here is he's I think is the winner so far this season for best dance moves.
He's always dancing.
He busted him out last week, and he's doing it again, and he is fired up, starting up there in the top 5. So it'll be interesting to see him get the job done. But this Xbox division has just been incredible, with in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers, all with 4 top 5s or more. So pretty incredible to see kind of the cream rise to the top as we get toward the end. 2 races to go. My goodness gracious, it'll be fun to watch kind of the aggression level from the drop of the green flag, because I think it's going to come right off the bat, Hannah.
Well, if you look at JRM Dohar, someone that's rolling off 5th, he's had an up and down season here, but he's got an average finish of 3.8. So he's pretty consistent, and this is when that consistency needs to pay off. He needs to get a good finish, preferably a win, obviously, but he could go and win the race, and it all depends on what his teammate does after after this in that PlayStation race.
But all eyes will be on who can beat Mr. Track Bar. He's led 109 laps this season, outdoing by over 30 laps Shell V-Power. So pretty incredible to have that sort of speed week in and week out. And we'll see that right now he's got the target on the back of that 37 Scott 1000 machine for JTG Doherty Racing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We saw this class as we look on board in his living room with JRM Dohar out of Vermilion, Ohio. Well, this group had some heated tempers after Indianapolis. Some drivers were not happy with certain drivers, with the way they raced. And I can't imagine that some of that doesn't take over here this week. Some drivers have that in the back of their mind. Maybe you got to race somebody a little different this week. Playoffs are on the line, and it all starts tonight here at Michigan.
And we said desperation could take over in situations like this where you have to lock yourself in or get a good points night. So why not use that opportunity when those tempers flare in a situation like tonight? Everyone was mad at Indy, and some people would say that's behind us, but no, not when there's only 2 races left till the playoffs.
Diego's going to try to lead a lap too. He is the only driver in this class to not have led a lap this season. He's been pretty close to the front numerous occasions, hasn't sniffed that clean air of running up front. So we'll see if he can get the job done as we come to the green flag. Here at Michigan, Xbox is green.
Quick jump out to the lead there for Track Bar. He'll try and settle himself down at the bottom as he slides down in front of SHG and the Bolt. So far, I mean, we're only in half of lap, but I almost expect things to get crazy right off the get-go. There you see SHG giving a little push to Track Bar.
I was going to say, let him get at least a lap or 2 in, but right now, everybody's just trying to get in that draft. Again, the draft here at these big speedways is going to come into effect. We saw it at Indy with some runs off of 4. We'll probably see it here again tonight, as right now, bobbing and weaving like a prize fighter is SHG Slick, trying to find his way around Track Bar here as lap number 1 goes to Track Bar.
The front 2 continue to push each other. The Bolt lurks just behind them in that 3rd position, kind of waiting for them to mess up. And like you'd said, the draft very important here. Everyone decides to stay nose to tail, but you see him tuck out there a little bit. Oh, someone tucked down to the bottom here. Looks like HD Motorsports dives down out of the draft, tries to sneak to the bottom of the Bolt, but can't quite get it done.
Got to keep these things wound up as the Bolt will try to run the outside and keep that number 18 going strong. You're riding on board there on bottom of your screen. He's got the Alpine Star gloves on, just like Kyle Busch. And right now he's running in that 6th position. So drop back just a little bit here as we completed lap number 2. And here comes Dohar. Puts a little wheel to the 18.
The Dan Cave there, the location for the Bolt Racing there, like you'd said, slipped back there, and it looked like sent JRM Dohar down to the bottom of the racetrack. He slipped back to the 9th position. Single file at the moment as everyone tries to stay in that draft. Mr. Track Bar still leading, continually getting pushed by SHG Slick.
And then right there in 3rd, HD Motorsports, you saw it in the highlight video from Indy, had some trouble, not happy with certain drivers, but right now he's got that 95 to the front as we ride on board on the hood and in the living room of the 88 JRM Dohar. 3.8 average finish, we mentioned that. I mean, if that's not consistent, I mean, there's only one driver that's better, and that's Track Bar.
But it all comes down to how your teammate does. It's unfortunate, but you know, if you run well here, it all depends on how your teammate finishes as well. But JRM Dohar is going to do everything in his power to set that team up for a good finish tonight at Michigan. SHG looked like he was going to take a look to challenge Track Bar for the lead there, decided of the better, stuck back in line, and the Bolt, still in that 6th position, trails Shell V-Power as we ride along with him.
On board the Interstate Batteries machine, back towards the front. There's still nose to tail, your top 3, maybe 4. Couple different lines going into the corners off these straightaways. It looks like Track Bar has a higher entry, trying to get that car snug on the bottom of the apex of the corner. As now we're on board with HD Motorsports, the 95 for Levine Family Gaming. He knows how to lead in this series. Hasn't done it here in a little bit, but he's 20 to his name, and he's trying to get some more as we continue to ride on board. Let's go back down to Zane, who has more on the driver of the 95. Maybe. We'll check back in with Zane here in a little bit.
HD Motorsports was one of those drivers involved in what we said was fighting words from Indy. Interesting to see how that will play out. But one of the cool things is being able to ride along with these drivers is you can see the focus and sometimes the frustration that comes throughout.
We've seen that a few times.
We have seen that. Unfortunately, JRM Dohar was one that we've ridden along with a couple different times, and things never really seemed to play out in his favor. But we're going to try Zane one more time to check in. He had some notes for us here on HD Motorsports. Zane, what do you got for us?
Guys, what I got right now on HD is he's driving with a lead foot and a chip on his shoulder. He's had a rough season, but even the past 2 weeks at practice, he's been getting pushed around and bullied a little bit to where even that car behind him in that 32, those two guys had a run-in for about 2 hours during practice where you would probably see a lot more sheet metal if it was real life than it being virtual. So he's doing everything he can to keep Go Fast Matt in his rearview mirror and to stay right behind Slick to get him up front and stay with him.
Yeah, that goes to, you know, one of those parts of racing that whatever happens at the track before is probably going to carry over. And so, yes, good thing, as Zane mentioned, that HD just wants to keep that 32 behind him as much as he can. But right now, that 32 is breathing all kinds of pressure down the back of the 95 as we ride on board with the leader. Track bar led them all so far.
You take a look at a mover, though. Diego up to that 7th spot. You got to wonder if he gets to the front here. He said he would wreck someone's grandma for the win. I mean, that's just throwing it out that all bets are off to secure that win.
Yeah, there's no filter. If you're bringing grandma into this, I mean, you know he doesn't care. He wants to get the job done. And here's a gentleman who knows the thing about winning. Your winner at Charlotte, Shell V-Power, and the stats speak for himself. 4 top 5 finishes this season. He's been close the other 2.
He's finished in the top 10 every single race this season, though, too, and that's that consistency. Penske, I feel like, got off to a great start at the beginning of the season. They hit somewhat of a rough patch about mid-season, so with only these 2 races left, they're looking to end the regular season on a good note before we go playoff racing. But green flag pit stops are about to start. We'd mentioned that pit window and how interesting it could be to see different drivers cycle.
Yeah, Jacob Kerr, the first to dip down onto pit road as we hit 36 laps to go, so just about 10 laps into this race. We knew the pit window, I think, was about 12 to 13 maybe, so we're getting close, and I think some early pit strategy. Look out, crossed up his track bar getting to pit road. We've seen that once before in Chicagoland.
Track bar looked like he almost just got down pit road too hot, about spun going to the entry. Interesting to see how that'll play out there, but a handful of drivers, Diego, HD Motorsports, Skirt Bush, wow, that's garbage, all of those going down pit road. That hands the leader over to Go Fast Matt. Last week's winner also looking for a good run. Would be cool to see them go back-to-back on wins here. Shelby Power has circled his way up to that 2nd position as well, but there you see it, they all tuck down pit road for their pit as well.
Yeah, Go Fast Matt became, when he won last week, that 32, first team to have both of its drivers for Go Fast Gaming win races. That's kind of hard to believe with the competition that no other teams had both their drivers win, but that just shows you the parity in eNASCAR Heat Pro League. I mean, it's anyone's game week in and week out. So to accomplish that, something special. And looking strong here today as he continues on pit road, as right now your leader who picks up the lead, the 88 of JRM Dohar, and now he will relinquish the lead. So everybody now making pit stops, and I'm on garbage watch here tonight, Hannah, because he's coming from the back, and he's an 8th. A lap down, but that's about to cycle through. So keep an eye on Roush Fenway Gaming number 6, that Oscar Mayer machine.
Always somehow manages to find his way to the front and contend. Always sets up for an interesting storyline, too. I almost enjoy coming in and calling just to watch you get excited about calling garbage to contend for the lead.
It just amazes me. The calls he makes are so meticulous, and whether you take a qualifying time or something happens, we've seen that happen where he got disconnected. I mean, whatever the scenario adversity it is, it seemed like Garbage just says he puts his helmet down and foot on the gas and says, I'm going to go get the job done on the racetrack. And so far, he's done that. Right now, up to 6 as we ride on board Skirt Bush. How about this for Chip Ganassi Gaming, a team that needs to win an event to get in the postseason, I would most likely think. And right now, that #1 overall pick for Xbox, as he was tabbed that back in March. hasn't had the season he's wanted. Only driver to average finishing outside the top 10 this season, and I know he wants to change that, and a good place to do it is here, where a little strategy could play dividends here at the end.
And that's what you said, strategy there. It could be anyone's game, and some of the conversation actually going into this race, and mainly among us here on the production side of thing, is Skirt Bush's last name is Matarazzo, and there's also a character on Stranger Things with the same last name, and we were all curious as if there was any relation, and unfortunately, there is none. So,
yeah, the actor's last name Matarazzo, and you would think, how many Matarazzos are there? But
especially in the Hollywood area, right?
Right, but no, we did get it confirmed. He's not related, so Stranger Things fans, I'm sorry, as we have a lead change now with Go Fast Matt. As pit cycles continue to cycle through, he will go back to the front, and suddenly Skirt Bush drops from first to fourth.
Mr. Track Bar picking up where he left off, passes Go Fast Matt there for the lead. Jerem Dohar, though, is battling things up with Diego for that 10th and 11th position there, nose to tail, and you got to find a buddy at this racetrack. You got to be able to draft with someone, so those two are going to try and push each other to the front, or at least to the next patch where they can form another draft.
Absolutely. Working together in the draft to catch the rest of the field, but as you can see how important those pit stops are, Track Bar had not a huge lead, but he had a little bit decent of lead, had trouble getting to pit road, and then after everything cycled through, now look who's directly behind him, the 32 of Go Fast Matt. So you've got Mr. Consistent versus last week's winner. And it seems like momentum is on their side here at Michigan as the laps continue to clock down, now 15 laps in. Those are your top two, and they began to pull away just a smidge from the Bolt, but don't look now because that green 18 for Gibbs Gaming is saying, I'm here to play too.
There's still 30 laps to go, but I'm going to make a bold call here and say that the Bolt, this could be an opportunity for him to break through and get that win for Gibbs. He's been strong this entire time. After these pit cycles, he still finds himself in that third position, and where a race, and anything can happen in those last couple laps, he's putting himself in a good position as these two continue to battle for the lead, and he rides in that third position, but he's competitive in that third spot as well.
Oh, look out, 2 tires below the white line as Track Bar defends his position. Bolt had a heck of a run down the back straightaway.
Nose to tail your top 3 there. The Bolt continues to lurk in that third position, but Mr. Track Bar gets a little bit of a run coming off that corner. They're able to put some distance, but we've got side-by-side action now here for your top 5. They are slicing and dicing between each other as HD jumps to the outside of the Bolt, but we've got the competition caution out now.
I was just about to say they're racing back to the line, and it was just getting good as that train was coming on the outside of turns 1 and 2, but the caution is out for competition, so we will restack them and send them again with Track Bar leading here at lap number 18. And there's a look at Shelby. Gonna
Checking a text message there.
The Discord chat, making sure everything's hunky-dory here before we go back to green.
Might be a text message from his teammate Pennzoil telling him to get on the gas.
Yep, some pointers, because, you know, and that's the great thing, too. We talk about teamwork. These teammates of these Xbox drivers in the PS4, they're watching the stream. They're watching what's going on. They're giving them pointers during the race to try to get themselves in the best finishing position possible that they can. So good to see some teamwork here as we go back to green.
Well, they're all stacked and regrouped again as we are back under green here at Michigan after that competition caution. You look there, and Mr. Track Bar and everyone, they're all starting to battle it out here. Track Bar continues to lead, but HD Motorsports has worked his way up to challenge for that lead spot, and he will bring with him SHG Slick into that third position.
Yeah, that bottom groove seemed to really get going on the restarters. We got a crash on the back straightaway. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. Oh my goodness. We got a caution.
The top 6 looked like they held on to it there. I saw some contact with Garbage. See there with HD, who managed to be in the front of all of that mass chaos there. Clean and green for him there, but yeah, a lot of cars involved in that.
Be interesting to see what happened. It happened towards the back end of the field, but I don't know where exactly it started, but we had 1 car airborne, 2 cars in the inside wall, another one hitting the outside wall, so I'm sure some damaged race cars here at Michigan. And like we said at Indy, you don't want to have significant damage. As we take a look at the replay here, Couple cars side by side. Looks like Shelby in the red gets loose. Okay, so Shelby gets in the inside at Dohar, and it looked like Diego, and that started a chain reaction.
Yeah, garbage. A lot of other cars involved in that. You see there, heavy damage on the front end of him there. Unfortunately, that doesn't fare well in the draft here at Michigan. So
no, but still keep your eye on garbage.
He will rally back if anyone's going to do it.
What did he trademark at Watkins Glen? Send it.
Just send it.
Yep.
And he does it every single race weekend from the back. I can appreciate that. But back to green here after that caution. Track Bar continues to lead. HD Motorsports giving him a run for his money. But here comes the rescue. SHG Slick will push Track Bar ahead of HD, and HD will try and tuck down and salvage that third spot.
Yeah, right now that 37 just looking out the rear view mirror, trying to figure out which line is the one that's moving, kind of like at Daytona, except we're at Michigan. Right now, nose to tail, HD is going to settle back into third. And then how about the 13 of Jacob Kerr? Been quiet for Germain Gaming, but he's working his way up to the front. Now in a solidly top 5 position in fourth. Diego up to 5th.
We've talked about it. This could be that wild card race where someone gets up there and gets a win or a consistent finish, and that translates over to PlayStation. And we see a breakthrough event winner, which would be awesome to shake things up as we go into Daytona in 2 weeks. But riding along here on top of Track Bar, you see SHG continues to push him. HD rides in that third position. Everyone's single file for the most part, not willing to break out of that draft.
It's all about finding some friends right now, so we're right on board with Diego for Petty Esports. Coming to the stripe here, 19 laps to go. We started 10th up to 6th. We've seen him as high as 5th. Right now that position occupied by the Bolt, and Diego now back to 8th. So he's kind of fluctuated there within the top 10. Has the speed to contend there at the front, but I think right now people kind of getting their heart rate settled a little bit here with the last push with 19 laps to go, as single file again all the way through your top 7.
When Track Bar finds his way to the front, it tends to be dominance. He usually is pretty good, but it seems to be the three of SHG Slick and HD Motorsports, those 3 drivers, including Track Bar, always seem to be competitive and up at the front, challenging each other for a win.
And reminder, folks that are tuning in, especially you on Twitch, we've got a special giveaway for you. Not only are tonight's winners receiving a pass for the NASCAR racing experience to actually drive a stock car at a track of your choosing, but you, the fans, can also enter. Get on Twitch. As you can see there on the bottom of your screen, use the command !raffle. Enter yourself in the giveaway, and you could be headed to drive a real NASCAR stock car at a racetrack. I think they got 16 tracks across the country. An incredible opportunity if you've never had the chance to drive a race car. Hannah has. I somewhat have, but I would love to do it. But if you always wanted to race, definitely enter, and we will draw a winner here tonight.
A lot of cool tracks that participate in that. Definitely don't miss out on that opportunity. Hey, it may even work out that your driver wins tonight as well, and hey, you might end up at the same racetrack driving stock cars on the same day.
Yeah, you can say, hey, let me take you on the track for real.
Well, you look here, Track Bar, we said it continues to lead. SHG giving him that push. HD still rides in third. A little bit of distance between those top 2 and 3 there. And I say that, and he gains that ground back onto the back bumper of SHG Slick. They're starting to break away, though. Mordog has now worked his way up to that 4th position. The top 4 breaking away from the rest of the field.
0.7 of a second separates that lead pack from the back pack. Mordog, as we ride on board that Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, we've talked about them all pre-race, so close to getting themselves inside that playoff position. The first team out as of tonight, 11 points out of the top 10 cutoff. Definitely would be a spark to a great night if he can get a top 5, currently running in 4th.
Let's go on and check in with Zane here on those top 5. Zane, what do you got for us?
I got a lot of things. Right now, what's interesting is Track Bar is running this race, so it's almost very reminiscent to what we saw at Charlotte at the beginning of the season. And because of how important this is right now with the race, Track Bar said, you wrecked me once, I'll wreck you twice, to remind you and to get you out of the way. Slick and HD Motorsports, we haven't seen these two guys nose to tail since the exhibition races in early in the season. The other 12 drivers learned real quick, separate Slick and HD, you got a better chance of winning. Right now, Track Bar needs to be looking in that rearview mirror because he's got a hungry 14 and a hungry 95 trying to get a win. And out of nowhere, the Gordon lookalike of Moordog and then the Bolt. I've said it week in, week out. The Bolt just needs to get focused. He can win a race. He's been up front. A lot of the times it just comes to mental lapse at the end of the races. And he's sitting in the top 5 right now, a second back. He has a chance to win this race as we're whittling down to 14 to go.
Yeah, absolutely right, Zane. We appreciate the insight because you're exactly right when it comes to a mental game. Racing is just as much physical as it is mental, and especially for these drivers here. As we take a look at the battle for the lead, Slick takes a peek to the outside, says no, but HD does, and he pulls even with Moordog. But you're right, the Bolt has what it takes, and we've seen him up towards the front, but right now all focus is on that front battle as there's a look on board with HD Motorsports as we ride on the hood of Moordog looking toward HD.
We saw those two challenge each other for position, one at the bottom there, but we talked about it, don't get out of that draft, so the other one slipped back behind, and that would be Moordog to surrender that third position to HD. They continue to run single file here and push each other. 12 laps to go here at Michigan. I think when it comes down to the last 2 or 3 laps, we're going to see these drivers just fan out, and all bets are going to be off for that top position.
Yeah, that top 4 group, though, still holding their own with a slight advantage as here comes the Bolt, who just sent it into turn number 3, had it stick on the bottom side of the racetrack, and here comes pit stops for your leaders. Track Bar, Slick, all coming in. Now we've got HD as well joining them. Some contact going into pit road. So right now another round of pit stops, and we're in that final window with 11 laps to go.
Something interesting to see there, Moordog, who was in that top 4 or 5 cars, stayed out, is not part of that pit cycle. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And while that's garbage, he acquires that second position there, but he still will have to make that pit stop.
Yep, Moordog just dipped his tires below the white line, signaling he's headed to pit road. I wonder if Garbage will follow him. And yes, it looks like both are going to enter pit road. So there's your 2 leaders. They got to have a great outlap after this pit stop. Shelby would join them coming from the back, as we'll see what happens when everything cycles through. As you look on board now with J-Mac Attack, haven't talked much about him here tonight, but he'll lead some laps here.
And he talked to us in the pre-race about how a lot of his strategy is mainly just staying out of the mess, staying out of the mayhem, keeping his car clean. And there goes J.R.M. Dohar along the bottom here.
Fresh tires.
I would say that means we're going to see J-Mac come down pit road here. Both of them come down pit road.
That's right. JRM did not pit, so that was, I think, a cautious pit entry for J-Mac Attack, while JRM just said, I'm going to try to make up some time. But back to the front. As JRM Dohar and J-Mac Attack hit pit road, your lead will then cycle through back to, I believe it will be Slick, as well as Track Bar. But right now, the battle here is for position in mid-pack, because Slick is only back up to the 5th position with Bolt right behind him in 6th, and then there's HD. But they're going to be chasing down Mr. Track Bar.
A lot of slicing and dicing here between these cars. 3 wide there, you can see it, the Bolt, Garbage, but everyone seems to hold on to it. We ride along with Garbage. HD Motorsports tucked behind him in that 7th position. So that group of cars was trying to get their way back to the front to regain those front positions.
And they're going to drive around those 2 cars that pitted, so reshuffle the lead now back to, I believe, is Moordog. So we've got a problem with Mr. Track Bar, showing him 14th right now on timing and scoring. We will double check to see what is the issue there, as the leader now is Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club's Moordog with Slick and HD right behind. So Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, a team we've picked tonight to have the ability and need to have the ability to get themselves inside playoff contention. Battle for the lead now side by side. Slick and Moordog. Moordog's going to give him the position as Slick for SHG will take over the lead, trying to bring the 95 of HD Motorsports with him.
Zane talked about it just a little bit ago. Everyone's worst enemy is HD Motorsports and Slick working together, and here they are once again. HD pushing Slick to that top position. That shuffles Mordog back to third, and wow, that's garbage. Already to the 4th spot here. Wasn't sure how that pit cycle was going to work out with him, but interesting to see him up in that top 5. But we mentioned it here, Mr. Track Bar in 13th here. Something happened and we said we'd check up on it. Zane, you know what happened with Track Bar.
I got a little bit of information down from the pit road. It seems on that entry of that green flag pit stop, he got a little bit of a bump going in, went sideways, hit the inside retaining wall. That's why he's sitting back in 13th right now, just trying to make some spots up.
A lot of drivers looked like they maybe had some issues, maybe tried to get down onto pit road too quick. Definitely something you don't want to see happen. You can lose a race on your entrance to pit road with 7 to go. So Track Bar riding in that 12th spot. Right now his best friend would be a caution, but SHG and HD Motorsports are hoping it goes green these last 6 laps.
Yeah, this is almost deja vu for Track Bar, who had issues at Chicagoland, gave up the lead and the race because of entrance to pit road. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make up those spots. Now back up to 12th, but still 12 seconds back as we ride on board with Mordog. Started 13th. He's up to 3rd now with SHG and HD. Trying to break up that party as those two guys work together. As everybody in this league says, if those two work together, it'll be hard to pass. And right now, Mordog's trying to be the guy that breaks up the party.
He'd mentioned it in his interview earlier. He felt good about his car and his chances of getting that good finish for his team running in that 3rd spot. 5 laps to go, and HD continues to push SHG Slick, but they've got company. The Bolt worked his way back up to that 4th spot. It's also being pushed by Shelby and Go Fast, as well as That's Garbage. You got a pack of 7, all hungry for another win or their first win of the season.
Yeah, this is the battle right now for the lead and for the win, as right now everybody trying to follow the leader, catch the draft below the white line. You can do that here at Michigan, and then they'll fan out going into turn number 1. That last car in line, Garbage, started last, took some damage on that, I believe, first caution. Yep. And then right now trying to work his way back to the front. You ride on board there looking at the Bolt, the steering wheel. He's got a lot of wheel in it. He's focused, trying to get that 18 machine for Gibbs Gaming to the front as they're side by side for 2nd. Move Mordog to 2nd now, HD back to 3rd. And then they're side by side again, back for 4th as Go Fast Matt will take the position over the Bolt.
The Bolt got shuffled out of that draft, and to the back of the pack he went, shuffled back to 7th there. The dance moves took a back seat for him there as the focus shifted on with 3 laps to go. HD Motorsports has lost the push position behind SHG. Mordog now holds that 2nd spot. You broke up the dream team here. You have to wonder what's going to happen here with 3 to go.
Yeah, absolutely, and the drivers behind him are rooting on Mordog to keep himself in between these two, so that right now 14 of Slick has to play more defense than I think he would want to with 3 laps to go. But Mordog's racy. He wants a win for Hendrick Motorsports Gaming Club, who's seen a lot of heartbreak this season, trying to get himself a win and trying to get this team into the playoffs.
And the nice thing is he doesn't necessarily have to get that win. Every driver wants one. They want their chance to also get that NASCAR racing experience ticket. But with a 2nd place finish, all his teammate has to do is also get a good finish as well, and that could lock them into the playoffs, and they can breathe a sigh of relief going into Daytona.
14 was wide on entry. It looked like Mordog wanted to take a peek. He said, I'll go ahead and wait, as right now things are starting to get heated up. We're coming to the line here with 1 lap to go. White flag out at Michigan, and it's a race back to the start-finish line as Slick continues to lead Mordog. HD Motorsports and Shelby now inside the top 5 and 4th. Go Fast Matt in 5th, but right now we're not done as here comes HD.
You see everyone fan out. The Bolt goes low there.
Oh, so
contact
close
between HD, Mordog, and Shelby.
Oh, they're wrecking on the back straightaway.
Involved in that Mordog, HD, a handful of other cars. The back of the pack just goes spinning. That allows SHG and Shelby to check out here.
And at the stripe, it's going to be the 14 who takes the checkered flag. SHG Slick as Carnage behind him. So the 14 gets the win. Stuart Haas Gaming, another race win for this team. It was Hot Rod last week, And we've got some post-race action here, but look at the damage on the Bolt. Last lap accident, battling for the win. Hannah, it looked like it was one of those Daytona-like moves where somebody pulls out a line and you begin to find your buddy, and I just think bump drafting here is just so tough to do.
And it was unfortunate. It was one of those situations where that wreck happened with the second place runner, and that just leaves everyone behind them to get collected. But SHG Slick with that race win. Shelby took advantage of the opportunity, comes home second, and from the back, wow, that's garbage, rounds out the podium.
Boy, he got second last week, third this week, but for Slick, a first win of the season here at the eNASCAR Heat Pro League in round number 7. Jacob Kirk, quiet but confident, again, a 5th place run. And then we talked about Moordogs, suddenly dropped there at the wreck on the last lap with Go Fast Matt, JRM Dohar, HD. Those all heavy hitters as well as the Bolt. Definitely will be a disappointing evening for all these gentlemen.
A lot of those drivers involved in that last lap wreck. Daytona, similar situation. Anything could go wrong that last lap, but Mr. Track Bar, unfortunate break for him on pit road, sends him home 11th tonight.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at that last lap wreck for those of you that were focused on the leaders, because I know I was. And here's what happened. The Bolt riding on board in the 18 looked like some squirrely moves from the 95 of HD. That caused contact. Moordog, and it shoots himself into Go Fast Matt. And that all just kind of broke off from there. So a tough break. Again, arrow loose maybe. Somebody got loose. Disappointment on Moordog's face.
Moordog's reaction here to that wreck. Obviously, disappointment for him. He had a great run tonight, but the winner from tonight's race at Michigan, Slick, that first win for him here. We're going to stand by here to try and dial them up, talk to the winner.
Slick got the job done as it was carnage behind him, and now he joins us here after the race. Well, right now, the voice of Jake. How about this? Hey, you had a win last week at Indy. You guys were pumped, and you said it's Slick's turn. Well, I think your prediction was right.
That's right, and I've kind of changed my look this week, changed the luck, and I think we finally found a little magic.
And it's a team effort here. We saw Hot Rod get that win the first race out last week at Indy. That put the pressure on Slick to follow up. Didn't work out for you guys, didn't get that event win, but Slick set the tone. How is Hot Rod feeling as we get ready to go to the next race?
I think he's feeling confident. I mean, we set some incentives out for these guys, like you guys had some incentives for the race win, and we're thinking we're going to go out there and we're going to get it done, and we're going to be the first team to win both races. I believe that's still the case, right?
No, right now we've got Go Fast Racing that did, but you could become the second.
Okay.
But that's okay. I think momentum is on your guys' side. Definitely congratulations. Keep it up. And thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you at Daytona. Can you believe it's already almost the end of the regular season?
I think I'll be talking to you guys later.
I like that confidence.
I like the confidence. And actually, some clarification there. Actually, Go Fast is the first one to have won to finish first and second in their event wins here. No team has yet to win both races in one single event.
Oh, on the same event, correct.
In the same event, yep. But guess what? PlayStation is up here. Starting order, SHG Hot Rod on the front row. So we talked to Jake there. They're feeling pretty good already about starting up front.
They certainly are as we go through the starting order. Voltage starting in 7th. His teammate looked awfully racy before a late race wreck. I think that Gibbs Gaming group has those hot rods pretty fast, as well as Fast Fed, who we know what he can do when shown the front. And then Mr. Consistent Slade, who's told us he's only finished outside the top 5 once, and that was a 12th place finish. So expect him to come from the back. And then Sloppy Joe, those RCR cars, definitely racy as well. And Nick Jobs, who saw his teammate almost have a shot at the win. It's going to be up to him to get Hendrick Gaming Club back to the front and some much-needed points to get off that cut line.
As we get ready to go green for the PlayStation race, you'd mentioned how these PlayStation drivers had watched the Xbox race to see where their teammates finished. The pressure has now transferred over to these drivers. It's their turn to try and get that good finish. Run well tonight. A lot of drivers looking to get their first win. Overall, that could help their team secure that event win, lock them into the playoffs, so they don't have to worry about that in 2 weeks at Daytona. But there's only been about 6 drivers that have won in PlayStation. We've seen Fast Fed collect 2 wins. Hot Rod, so SHG, he has that experience and has that win under his belt. Slade, the young gun, getting that first win at Charlotte and the Bear. Everyone else is still looking and hungry for that first win.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I think you talk to somebody, especially like Fluffy, who was a little bit disappointed after such a strong preseason run and having the win here at Michigan in the exhibition, and then coming out not finding victory lane. Now, his team luckily is in the playoffs with some solid performances as well as 2 event wins, but you definitely want Fluffy, or I'm sure he wants himself to see himself in victory lane because he wants to contribute just as much as his teammate Garbage.
And another driver we talked to in the pre-race was JRM Keffer. Cool to learn about him. He's from the Charlotte area, but originally reigns from Cross Lanes, West Virginia, moved down here. But at the last race, we talked about the bet that a lot of these drivers have between themselves. And there's another one in play for tonight at Michigan. And it's once again between JRM Keffer and Mike RPM. And whatever driver finishes higher gets to donate $50 to the other one's choosing. So another cool bet on the line. But we take a look here at Pennzoil, his teammate, that runner-up finish in the previous Xbox race. Pennzoil looking for another good finish for that team as well.
Yeah, those Team Penske Esports machines, after getting the event win at Charlotte, and it seemed like they were going to be the ones to beat, kind of cooled off just a little bit. Consistent, though, to keep themselves solidly in the playoffs as well as locked in. But I think that Pennzoil machine and Pennzoil himself want to taste what victory lane tastes like because, I mean, I tell you what, his teammate has shown he has the speed. He has the speed as well as Pennzoil, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But right now, everybody's got to chase those Stewart-Haas Gaming machines, those Ford Mustangs. I tell you, they've been lightning fast the last couple weeks, especially at Indianapolis and then as well as here, which we saw an event win or a race win for Slick. So can Hot Rod get it done? And then everybody's going to chase him as well as this guy, JRM Keffer. You heard about the bet. He went to the beach a couple weeks ago. He said he was rested. He said he's getting ready to get a little bit more aggressive. I think he feels to get Junior Motorsports solidly in the playoffs, which they are above the cut line, but they're the only team really inside that solid cut line without an event win.
And worst case scenario, we might have to sub him in later in the race. We saw he's training his daughter already to get back behind the wheel. So, hey, we might have a driver change later if, he gets the boot. But he's hoping to get another good run tonight and get to donate that $50 to a charity of his choosing. And it was a Humane Society the last time he won that bet, donated that to Humane Society. But green flag for the PlayStation race here at Michigan. Fluffy jumps out to the lead here. SHG Hot Rod battling him. They stay 2 and 3 wide as we enter the first corner.
Fluffy, the winner of a side-by-side photo finish back in the preseason, and he jumps to the outside. We'll lose a position here to Pennzoil, who takes that number 2 Ford Mustang to the inside. Now back to the outside, a little inside-outside move. Going to try to take the lead over Hot Rod. So racy here early at Michigan on lap number 1.
The Bear had a good season to start off with, some rough luck, currently running 5th, looking to rebound after a tough finish at Indy, but they're looking to be 3 wide here between Fluffy, Kyle Arnold, and Pennzoil, but the Bear tucks his nose up there and gives Arnold the push, almost makes the move on SHG Hot Rod, but they continue to stay 2 by 2 by 2.
Kyle Arnold, just like his teammate Jacob Kerr, kind of the quiet but consistent drivers that find themselves in positions to get a solid top 5. It's not always worked out for him, but right now looking really racy as he continues to ride in the 2nd position as they're side by side now, back from about 5th on back as we ride on board with Pennzoil.
These guys are instantly being more aggressive than we saw in that Xbox race. Already battling and pushing each other around the racetrack. No one is wasting any time to get to the front. And you have to wonder if it's because they saw how these wrecks played out. If you're not at the front, you're pretty much putting yourself in position to potentially be collected in one of those wrecks. But Pennzoil up to the top there as it looks like the Bear slides down below him to gain that 3rd position.
Yeah, the Bear is one of those drivers that told us back in the preseason he is a 1.5 to 2 mile kind of driver. Loves these super fast racetracks. The man from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, hoping to get a win here before his Tide start the football season here at the end of the month. And right now you're looking back at some intense battles here with Kyle Arnold in 3rd, and on the inside, the Bear who moves back to 4th. Now they're just going to exchange positions back and forth as they're still side by side.
SHG is playing the front row. He's got 2 lines that are pushing each other behind them, and he's bouncing back and forth between both those drafts to maintain that front position. The Bear now in that 2nd spot. But we watched as SHG Slick had help from HD Motorsports. They teamed up and were buddies, and we'll have to check in with Zane at some point to see if there are any duos in this race, in the PlayStation, if anyone's helping anyone. So we'll check in with Zane here in a little bit, but riding along with JRM Keffer there, you can see
sure she's filling in Daddy some information. And then there's the puppy. Oh, yes. Everybody's in. It's a family affair here at the eNASCAR Heat Pro League.
His daughter might be trying to win that Twitch giveaway.
Is she eligible to drive a stock car at that age?
Hey, pedal extensions, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, these winners of our races here tonight, as well as the Twitch viewers, can enter for a shot at winning a ride at NASCAR Racing Experience. And Zane, you've got more on our front runners.
Guys, I said it in pre-race, 2 against 12.
Yep.
Hot Rod and Fed against the world, and we just saw it happen. That inside line got nose to tail like a freight train, choo-choo, and drove right past them on the inside. And now those two are struggling to figure out what they're going to do. Are they going to drop in line and stay on the bottom, or are they going to try to push their luck on the outside? It's really Hot Rod and Hot Rod and Fed versus the world right now, and it's theirs to lose.
It's there to lose, but right now Voltage is saying, well, I'm just going to let you guys stay together because I'm going to take the lead. He and Keffer just pull away right there going to turn number 1.
They shuffled the Bear out of that front-running position as well. He slips back to the 5th spot, seems to continue dropping as Fast Fed tries to battle him, but he finds his way in, tucks to the bottom, challenging, going back and forth with SHG, and Voltage holds on to that top spot as JRM Keffer starts to almost drive out of his rear view mirror with the Bear pressuring him.
All smiles for Keffer, who's running all the way up in the 2nd position. He started 9th. And he looks pretty smooth on the wheel. Not a lot of herky-jerky going on, so he's got that car nice and snug. And it may just be where he wants it, because right now he's pulling just ever so slightly away from the Bear, who's trying to catch some sort of a draft, but right now you're top 2.
We've got about 5 minutes left on that giveaway, so if you haven't enter now on Twitch TV. An awesome opportunity for someone to win a NASCAR Racing Experience. Go to one of the tracks that participates, get an opportunity to drive a stock car, a NASCAR stock car. Awesome opportunity for someone to live that dream out. These drivers that win tonight also get that opportunity. So only a handful of minutes left, so if you haven't entered, enter now. Sorry, Chris, but you are unfortunately stuck here in the booth with me.
That's okay. This is the place I'd rather be anyways, just right next to you, Hannah. As we go on board with Slade. How about this? Is that a rocking? Is he rocking a little bit? I like that. Looks comfortable. And right now he's running mid-pack in the 6th position. As you can see, average finish this year is about 4.1. So, I mean, you know he's going to get to the front at some point. He's a guy who doesn't get flustered.
Unfortunately for him, he is not in that draft pack that has started to break away. That includes Voltage, Keffer, the Bear, Mike RPM, and Fluffy. And keep in mind, like we said, that bet, JRM Keffer currently in that 2nd position, and Mike RPM started at the back, is up to 4th. Voltage ducks down. We are in that pit window.
Yep. Hot Rod, Rowdy, Fast Fed, Parker, they all pitted just about half a lap ago, maybe a little bit more, as we're 10 laps into this race. The pit window up, out 10 to 12, so we are in that window, and everybody's going to try to get down pit road and get some good out laps here before that competition caution on lap number 18. But right now we continue to go with the leaders, Keffer and the Bear. Both have not visited pit road just yet, trying to get every ounce of speed out of these cars, and I believe this will be the time that they go to pit road, at least one of them. And yes, both will duck onto pit road. Oh, look out, Keffer gets on the grass, but they slow it down just in time. So everybody on pit road, and then the back half of the field cycling through as we pick things back up with Fast Fed. And look who's in front of them. Hot Rod. Those two, we heard it from Zane. Oh, right behind him there is the 25. So Jobs is right there with the 32, but in front of the 32 is Hot Rod, and that's the driver, as you heard Zane talk about. It's 2 against 12. These two have worked together at Indy. It didn't sit well too nicely with some of the drivers, but right now they're trying to get back to each other as things cycle through here at Michigan, 11 laps in.
Go Fast Gaming getting that event win at Indy puts them in a pretty good position, but we talked about a little bit of the first in the eNASCAR Heat Pro League last week at Indy. Go Fast Matt and Hunter and Fast Fed, they finished 1st and 2nd in their respective races.
Yep.
And we saw Shelby get that 2nd place finish, so this is an opportunity maybe for Pennzoil, he's in the 11th spot now to get up there and get that win, tie in there. But looking for a first to sweep that weekend. SHG Hot Rod runs in 7th, but if he can get to the front, that would be a sweep for Stewart-Haas Gaming. Something cool to see.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet, and it's a tall task with these drivers here. It's a very, very stout playing field with a lot of competition as Voltage continues to lead. Hey, there's Sloppy Joe. Haven't talked much about him lately. He started near the back, but right now he's got a top 5 position after pit stops. He's working his way through traffic. That's the 21 of Slade in front, plus the 95 of the Bear. They're going to try to work together around the 7 of Keffer. So that battle right there, 2 through 5.
Jerem Keffer getting shuffled to the outside of that line as the Bear, Slade, and Sloppy Joe go nose to tail and shuffle him back to that 5th position. Sloppy Joe just trying to stay tucked on that back bumper of Slade. They go down below that white line, and like you said, they'll go up and fan out into the corner. But Jerem Keffer, another spot outside of that draft as Mike RPM gets past him, but he got a little bit of an arrow push there from SHG, and then he lost it. Still continues to be stuck outside of that draft. He's going to look for any opportunity to duck down and get in this line.
Yeah, that car doesn't want to stick on the bottom side of the racetrack. It seemed like he can get about a half lane, a lane up. As right now, Sloppy Joe trying to dice it up. The 14 on the inside of Keffer, that's for 6th, as we ride on board with Mike RPM and Petty Esports. Below that white line on the front straightaway, joining the train with the Bear and Slade. That's 2, 3, and 4. And that dot way up ahead is Voltage, who's checked out to a 1.6 second lead.
Riding along with Slade, who is now under pressure as Mike RPM dives to the bottom here, down the back stretch, can't quite make that pass stick, and he'll leave that door open to be challenged by Sloppy Joe and Mike RPM. Voltage, we haven't seen anyone break out to the front like that. It was consistent drafting and pushing in the last race. Interesting to see him be able to break out there. But Slade, we're riding on with the Bear. Slade tucked out there to challenge him for that 2nd spot, as we are a path of Hornet's Nest between 2 through 7.
Yeah, and that's what's helping Voltage pull away. These guys are breaking up the air right now as 2nd through 5th and 6th all battle with each other. They're just not able to get a run and continue to cut the air. So Voltage is saying, go ahead, get side by side, as right now that pass is Mike RPM is getting passed by the 14 of Hot Rod. So Hot Rod back up to 3rd in a podium spot, now back with his buddy, the 95, well, one of his buddies, the Bear. But right now the Bear says, I've got my focus on trying to run down Voltage. We'll see if these guys can stay single file and try to run him down, as that lead now 1.2 seconds.
SHG Hot Rod battling with the Bear. We saw him start on that front row, that pole position, slipped back, has slowly but surely been picking off those positions to get back in the front, get that good finish. But the Bear is on a mission, had a couple rough weeks there, rough finish at Indy, looking to rebound on that, get a good finish. Unfortunately, HD Motorsports was collected in that last lap melee that happened in the previous race, but the Bear said, hey, I'll try and carry some weight here and get a good run. But Voltage absolutely checked out, has over a 2nd or so lead on the Bear, something we haven't seen. But competition caution out, 28 laps to go. This will bring everyone back together, and there goes Voltage's long lead.
Yeah, it was starting to shrink just a little bit. It started about 1.4 and it was down to 1.1. So once those guys behind him started to settle things out, and there's Sloppy, always a fan favorite here, as he's, I wonder if he's worked on any new raps. Remember, he's a rapper. He's got the mic right above him there. I wonder if he needs to make an eNASCAR Heat Pro League rap for us, but that'll be another time and another day. But currently 12th in the
Wait, Joey's a rapper? Hold on, guys. Joey's a rapper? When did the eNASCAR Heat mixtape come out? I was not invited to this.
Oh, neither were we, so.
Well, I drop hot fire like thermite. It melts steel bars.
I'm looking for the collab.
Yeah, we need a collab on this. Well, stay tuned, folks. But he looks pretty calm right now as things will settle out. We get ready to go back to green here at Michigan. So competition caution is over. 22 laps will be in the books as we go back to green, and Go Fast, or Fast Fed is back on the bottom side of the racetrack. And he pulled away just a little bit, got a nice little jump. It seemed like some bumping and banging going there on the restart, but right now, tucking in behind is the Bear. Sloppy was 4th, he's now up to 3rd.
Voltage looks like he may be having problems or just didn't fire off very well on that start, but dropping to the bottom of the racetrack, Fast Fed drops like a rock to the back of the pack. Probably problems for that 32 Go Fast machine. We'll have to check in with Zane on that, see what is going on with him there. Last week's runner-up, trouble for him, but the Bear finds his way to the front, takes advantage of that situation, and brings with him Jobs. This is the highest we've seen him run this entire race, looking for a good run there.
It's about the time that we saw Mordog, his teammate in the Xbox division, start to work his way to the front. So I wonder if Jobs is trying to have that same strategy here. Now looking at 24 laps to go, and he's riding in 4th. Bump draft there as Fluffy gets a shot from Mike RPM. So Fluffy's going to suck right back up to the bumper of Hot Rod. But right now the Bear, who won at Chicagoland, says, I want to win at Michigan.
Jobs got shuffled out there, and to the back he goes, tucks in and salvages, well, 8th position is where he tucks in there. But the Bear, like you said, continues to get pushed by SHG Hot Rod, but that push doesn't last long. SHG wants to regain that top position. He'll tuck to the bottom and try and challenge, but he needs a little bit of help from Fluffy. Fluffy needs to get up on that back bumper and assist the push, and there he does. As SHG will acquire that lead, Fluffy tries to follow him to the front.
For those of you that paid attention to our Twitch raffle and our giveaway of a NASCAR racing experience, it has closed, so be sure to stay tuned to see if we call your name for an experience of a lifetime. And these drivers are definitely racing for something more, because they're going to get a chance to do that too. The winners tonight, so we already locked in one with Slick. Can Hot Rod, his teammate, join him at a NASCAR racing experience? We'll have to see. 22 laps to go.
We saw Voltage slip back a little bit earlier on that restart. He has worked his way back up here, takes that 4th position from Mike RPM, will slide right back up there. Mike bounced it off the wall a little bit ago, but held on to it. Voltage took advantage of that slip up. He is just quick. He's fast by himself outside of the draft. He tries to pull away here and catch the Bear, Fluffy, and SHG, who are all in their own little cluster in the top 3, but Voltage has proven he's quick by himself, which gives him that advantage of being able to catch these top 3 without much assistance from Mike RPM.
Yeah, and Hot Rod back to the front, but Fluffy's going to jump to the outside. That leaves the lane open for the 95 of the Bear, so move the Bear to 2nd and has his sights set on Hot Rod. But right now, it's all Stuart Haas Gaming. 1-1 race tonight, trying to go 2 for 2 and be the first team to do it as we hit 20 to go.
The Bear looks to challenge him in this corner here, tucks below him.
It's good racing.
It is good racing, and it's going to be about who gets the assistance from Fluffy here that's going to solidify that top spot.
Side drafting a little bit down the straightaway, trying to take the air away from the car next to you, and right now they're going to go side by side again into turn 3 and 4, wheel to wheel. Doesn't get much closer to that, folks, as they're still going to be neck and neck coming to the stripe, and right now all Fluffy can do is try to figure out which driver am I going to help. Right now that bottom lane has more cars in it, so won't be surprised here as the Bear will regain the lead and bring Fluffy with him.
Fluffy, who is hungry for that win in that 2nd position. You heard it from him. He wants it. They're locked in with their 2 event wins to the playoffs, but he says that he still feels the pressure to get an actual race win himself. Tonight could be that night. He looks strong as he continues to lurk on the back bumper of the Bear. The Bear hoping that SHG can get up there with Fluffy and battle for that 2nd spot and allow him to put a little distance between himself and 2nd, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The top 3 almost locking bumpers.
Gonna try to figure out what happened to Fast Fed. If you're looking on your screen and wondering, well, wasn't he in the top 3 not too long ago? Now he's a lap down, so definitely hit pit road. We're not sure what happened. We will try to check that for you, but if you're wondering, yes, he is down a lap, the only car down a lap. So a rough night for Fast Fed, who definitely had the speed to contend and was a friend, again, as we talked about in the pre-race, with Hot Rod. So Hot Rod lost his buddy. So we'll see how that plays into it as we click these laps down here at Michigan.
And if you've tuned into our previous races, you've heard the joke consistently that apparently I am Fast Fed's lucky charm that came with his wins. But I guess we can put that to bed.
Right.
Because Fast Fast-Fed currently in that 14th position, but there's still 17 to go, so anything can happen. We've seen garbage come from the back to the front. We've seen drivers make these rebounds, so anything can happen, but so far Fast-Fed in that 14th position and 1 lap down. But the Bear continues to run up front. Jerem Keffer in that, or Sloppy Joe, I'm sorry, in that 8 car, challenging with Voltage. Those two are going to try and buddy up and catch the top 3 here. Voltage continues to be quick, but no one wants to break away from the top 3, the Bear, Fluffy, and SHG.
And there's still time for those in the back, especially Fast-Fed, who's a lap down. 16 laps ago, they will have to make 1 more pit stop, and as you saw, Fast-Fed win a couple extra laps. Not sure if that's a fuel strategy. Maybe he won't fill it all the way up. So this could be something interesting to follow. As right now on board with the 95 of the Bear, he's an amateur national arm wrestling champion, which when I first read that, I said, I feel like I need to see this, and I'm still waiting to get a challenge from the Bear. I want to go after it, see what happens.
National arm wrestling champion. Prior to tonight's race, we were watching robot fighting, right?
That's true. ESPN 8 The Ocho had that on.
And lawnmower racing.
Yep. And Tetris.
Lots of opportunities. You set your
you like to compete, there's something out there.
Yeah, you set your mind to it, you can make it happen. But 3 wide here, Fluffy
pit stops.
Drops to the back. We got pit stops underway. Saw the Bear duck down there. Fluffy, SHG now with the lead. Voltage in that 2nd spot, and Sloppy Joe, those top 3. So those handful of drivers, the Bear, Fluffy, Parker, Rowdy, Mike RPM, and Kyle Arnold among those groups that came down pit road.
And that's right at the start of the window, so they're going to try to push this thing, if it stays green, till the end. 14 laps to go, so half the field ducks onto pit road. Here comes everybody else as we got a car slow. It looks like Hot Rod. He's going to gingerly get his way onto pit road.
We saw track bar. One little slip getting onto pit road could be detrimental to your race. Contact, though, between what looks like Sloppy Joe and Jerem Keffer as they continue to keep contact coming down pit road. We'll recycle the field, though. Hand the lead over to someone riding along with Fluffy here. You see right behind him, Parker in that 42 machine. We talked about him a lot in the exhibition season. We talked about him a lot at the beginning of this season as well, and it seems as though he's come across a streak of bad luck.
Lots of bad luck, and I think Chip Ganassi Gaming would just hope to hit a reset button on this season. It did not play out the way that they thought. They're the last team in terms of point standings, not mathematically eliminated, but that 42 and the 1 of Skirt Bush and the Xbox side have to find a way to get a victory, an event win, because I think that's their only chance to get in the top 10. As right now you look back at Parker's, we ride on board with Fluffy. That battle right there looks like it's 3rd and 4th as things get cycled through. So the Bear will retake the lead after pit stops, and he's got a healthy advantage right now.
Fluffy still under fire from Parker for those top 3 spots. Jerem Keffer and Voltage, though, not far behind. Oh, you see there, Fluffy up to the top side, and Parker ducks down to the bottom. But the Bear, you'd said it, a healthy lead for him. Started in that 6th position, currently has the lead, has led 10 laps so far. The only other one to lead a massive amount of laps tonight would be Voltage, who currently runs in that 5th spot. I would like to say that your strong cars tonight so far are the Bear, Voltage, and then SHG. But if you look at SHG, he shuffled his way to the back with those pit stops, currently in 11th. So he's got 12 laps to get his way to the front, pick away at those positions to solidify a good run.
I mean, he's 5 seconds back, and I think he lost a ton of time going to pit road. He got passed by 4 or 5 cars before he even got to the entrance of pit road. So not sure if there was a problem or if he was just taking his time, but it's starting to, I mean, it didn't pay off for him at all, because he's back down in 12th, and if this stays green, it's going to be awfully hard to go 5 seconds to catch your leader, the Bear. But how about Parker? We mentioned, more than 2 minutes ago that they needed a good run, and right now he's running 2nd with Mike RPM, another team with that Petty Esports group on the outside looking in. All again mathematically still eligible for the postseason with Daytona still to come, but definitely can't afford to throw one away, as right now he gets a shot from the 44 of Mike RPM, and those two are going to try to work together now. 2.6 seconds back or so of the Bear. So that lead extending for the 95.
I think it's interesting if you look at your about top 6 right now, including drivers from Ganassi and Richard Petty, as well as, Hendrick. They're all still looking for that outside bubble, waiting to get in, like you just mentioned, and they have strong runs going right now. So anyone's game currently, but Parker looking to get that second position from Mike RPM. Both RPM drivers had pretty solid runs tonight, both Diego and RPM. 9 laps to go, though, as we check back in here with JRM Kepper, who's worked his way back up to that 4th spot. Right now, Mike RPM leading that bet between the two drivers, runs in second, and Kepper looking to catch him in that 4th spot.
His daughter's paying extra close attention as she sees Dad get closer towards the front, riding in 4th. As you can see, Kepper looking back at the timing and scoring, looking at where he is on the racetrack. 3.1 seconds back of the lead with 8 laps to go. Kind of doable, but he could catch a break. I think right now everybody's just hoping for a caution, because the Bear is in another zip code, and he's by himself. He doesn't even have any drafting help.
A strong car there. Parker continues to put the pressure on Mike RPM for that 3rd spot. But I have to wonder if Keffer's daughter is listening to us on the Facebook feed or the Twitch feed. We'll have to have her give us a thumbs up if she's listening to us here in a little bit, and to let us know if she was. But Parker, the pressure continues for Mike RPM. The Bear ducks down pit road with only 8 laps to go.
Everybody had to pit, and he's going to be the first one, which I think is the move here, because he's going to have the quicker car and the fresher tires on the out lap to try to gain that advantage. The question is will people try to stay out a little longer, hoping a caution comes out?
Definitely an interesting strategy playing out right now, something we didn't see in the previous race, but Mike RPM will acquire that lead with that pit by the Bear. Parker still in that 2nd position, has not let up on him at all. We ride back along, though, with Slade. I see the chair in the corner over there that looks similar to the chair he's sitting in, and that chair is not a rocking chair. So I'm wondering if he's just leaned forward in this chair, and I'm fingers crossed that chair does not slip.
Yeah, he needs to keep all 4 legs on the ground.
He's good. He's got this. He's proven he's got it.
But Mike RPM leading some of the first laps this season. Hasn't been a name we've talked about, but he's taking advantage of some strategy. He's taking advantage of some clean racing as more cars dip onto pit road. And right now that Petty Esports 44 is leading with 6 laps to go. Could this be the day we get an upset winner and get Petty Esports possibly that much closer to the playoffs?
Parker, Rowdy, Kyle Arnold, Fluffy among those, pitting with 5 to go. Will Mike RPM hold out these last 5 laps, test that fuel mileage like you'd mentioned, and be that upset winner? This would be a great run as well for JRM Keffer for Junior Motorsports. Both looking for good runs, but don't look now. Here comes Voltage. If he can hold out these last 5 laps as well, he's shown he's been strong, but spoke too soon. Down pit road comes Mike RPM.
Yeah, he's going to need fuel. Wonder if he's just going to top off and try to hope that something else happens. But Keffer in the lead. 3 pit stops total. The last one on lap 33, so he's going to have to take some fuel. I think he's right now just praying that a caution comes out. Voltage is next in line. There's on board with Pennzoil. Been awfully quiet since the drop of the green flag, but he's back in the top 5.
Slade with that qualifying effort he wasn't real thrilled with. I believe he rolled off 11th. Already back up to that 3rd position, but Keffer leading right now. Zane, awesome run so far for JRM Keffer, but 4 laps to go. What's going through that driver's mind? Is he going to make it?
Be consistent, be smooth. Junior Motorsports, they've all been about fuel strategy and fuel mileage, even on the Xbox side and the PlayStation side. We just haven't seen Keffer up front like this to dominate. This practice that he's gone through, he finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. He is dominant at this track this week, and we're watching it right now. This guy could pull out in victory lane. It could be a JRM week.
Fuel strategy, the name of the game, and Junior Motorsports is hoping their numbers played it right. He's leading here as they come to 2 laps to go. Junior Motorsports trying to get a win, and they're hoping it's with this guy, Keffer. He's got his family, the dog, the daughter. Can he get it done? But right now he's got a challenge on the outside with Slade.
Slade, the young gun, looking for another win this season. He has not won since the first race out, but he's proven he is in contention every single week. He will take that lead away from JRM Keffer with 2 laps to go. Does it and puts some distance between the two. Pennzoil, though, rides in that 3rd spot with Voltage on his back bumper. The top 4 starting to spread out with 2 to go. Slade, the man on a mission, continues to put distance as he looks to get another win.
White flag, and it's a generational rivalry between the youngest driver of Slade, who has the lead, and the oldest driver, Keffer, is trying to chase him down in the 7th. But out of nowhere, Slade just got a huge run off of turn 2. Big run down the back straightaway. He's got to navigate these corners as a battle for 2nd ensues. Now it's Pennzoil to 2nd. Keffer falls to 3rd and maybe 4th. But the man we've dubbed Mr. Consistent all season long, the #1 pick in PlayStation, gets the job done at Michigan.
You can see down there the excitement. Yes, he holds up that helmet. The helmet he won, winning that initial event at Charlotte. Excitement for that young driver collecting his 2nd win. He had to have been holding his breath that last straightaway there.
No kidding. I mean, that is a talk about a really strong ride. To come from 11th and battle strategy and other things going on and back and forth, back and forth. You see the elation on his face. He's got the winner's helmet from when he won in Charlotte. And he's taking a well-relieved sigh of relief, as there's your results with Slade, Pennzoil, Voltage, your top 3. A good run for Gibbs Gaming there, and then Keffer saw the win slip from his grasp with about 2 laps to go.
SHG was looking to double up on those wins, comes home 5th. Great run for Penske, 2 second-place finishes. But the Bear, after leading a ton of laps, comes home 8th, and Parker a top 10 finish.
Mike RPM had the lead late, but ducked down on pit road. He'll still come home with a top 10, and then disappointment for Fluffy and Fast Fed, 2 drivers that said they could win here tonight. Fast Fed, unfortunately, had some trouble getting on pit road.
Well, before we talk to our winner of Slade, let's check in with Zane. Who's the lucky person who collects that NASCAR racing experience?
Drunken 73. Now that is a name that you've ever seen. And he promised us that he won't use this awesome card for his NASCAR racing experience. Congratulations. That he won't do it while drinking, which I'm proud of you, buddy. But guess what? You won out of 175 people that entered the giveaway. You are the winner today, man. So congratulations. We'll hit you up and we'll get you your information so you can get your card and go racing. Unless you want to race me at the Roval. Meet me in a couple weeks.
Zane, you can accidentally put that in my box and just say, whoops.
I had to have an armed guard bring this in a briefcase, so there's no way.
Well, we appreciate it, buddy. But first of all, now we're going to talk to our winner, Slade. He was absolutely stellar in those final laps, putting off a move on JRM Keffer and getting his 2nd win of the eNASCAR Heat Pro League season. And he joins us now via phone. Or via video. How about this, Slade? You talked to us pre-race and you said, man, I'm starting 11th, just going to be patient. Talk about that last lap pass to get the win.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. I just can't believe that's 2 wins. And that's 2 wins where there's been a prize on the line. So I guess we need to keep giving out prizes. We'll keep winning. But no, of all seriousness, I want to thank everybody at Wood Brothers Gaming and Ride Spin for the opportunity. Me and #2 of Pennzoil saving gas. Us 2 had a plan, Team Penske. We made that alignment earlier this week, and then the 7 and 20 just caught on. And we kind of just worked together, which worked out, I guess, to say the least for me and Pennzoil, because we were thinking it wasn't going to work with just 2. But when the 7 and 20 caught on, we were able to get it going and got that win. But that's just, I don't think we got the event win. But hopefully that win right there got us good where we don't have to worry about Daytona. That's all I'm worried about right now. But yeah, couldn't be happier. I don't know if this is better than Charlotte or not, but we'll see.
Well, congratulations. It just may be because you got a NASCAR racing experience, and good luck the rest of the season. Congratulations on your 2nd win.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the effort.
And there's a reason he was that #1 pick. Super cool. But Pennzoil, we just saw both him and Shelby runner-up finishes in both their races. You know what that means? They had the consistent finish to get the event win here at Michigan. They're back atop of the standings, dethroning Roush Fenway here. You take a look at the standings now. Penske up top, 2 wins, with Roush Fenway also in 2 wins. Stuart Haas, another solid run for them, still in 3rd.
But look at that cutoff line. Germain Gaming a little bit more of a cushion now, riding in 10th, going into the final race with RCR and Hendrick battling, just 1 point separating those two. They're about, 8 points back of that cutoff spot. So anything can happen, and this is shaping up to be quite a battle at Daytona, which will be in 2 weeks. Daytona International Speedway, Wednesday, August 21st, right here at 7:30 p.m. on Twitch, Facebook, and NASCARheat.com. Hannah, I tell you what, it's going to come down to that last race. I bet you, like we've heard some drivers say, I'm going to take out somebody if I need to. It's going to happen at Daytona for a shot at the playoffs.
Absolutely. All bets are off, and we hope you guys tune in with us again Wednesday, August 21st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Facebook, Twitch, you're not going to want to miss this. This is going to be the opportunity when someone can clinch that last spot into the playoffs. Again, congratulations to Penske on that event win and both the winners being Slade and SHG on those wins. We hope you guys will join us next week or 2 weeks.
Absolutely, and congratulations to our NASCAR Racing Experience giveaway winner as well. Congratulations to everyone, and thanks for tuning in here with us at eNASCAR Heat Pro League. We will see you in 2 weeks' time at Daytona. Until then, have a great evening.